Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new video. I'm gonna make this short because I am a little bit short on time. We're gonna do some market analysis starting off with Bitcoin. So without further ado, let's get to it. If you've watched my previous live streams, you have seen that I have marked a couple of target areas. And I've marked these target areas because we broke out of the logarithmic resistance, and I'm just going to adjust this perfectly. So there we go. We broke out, we made a 47% move, which is quite violent in such a short time, and therefore I believe we have to retest the broken resistance. Now we just hit our first target yesterday, and it was right on here, as you can see. Target was let me just fix this. There we go. 8200, and we actually hit 8200, and at this point I am not 100% sure if we are actually going to 7750. You know, the 618 would make for a perfect retest target in order to continue our bullish moves, but I would have to say the 05 would do fine just as well. So, you know, basically we're just gonna have to wait and see if this level is going to hold. If it does, I expect a new high in, let's say, 3 or 4 weeks. If it doesn't, we're gonna have to go down to the 0618, which is currently at 7750, you know, just a little bit below 83. And this would also make for a very great retest target. And after this, I also believe we are gonna continue up. I do not believe we're gonna have to go down to 4K, which in my view, you know, doesn't really make sense. If we are going to break the long-term support that I have marked here, this has actually been in play for a while, ever since let's see, this has been in play ever since August or September actually. I don't think it's gonna hold if we go to those levels again. So if that's the case, if we are actually gonna break below the 0618 Fibonacci level, I believe we're gonna have to go down all the way to the first Fibonacci extension, which is currently sitting at 41.99, or actually 4200 USD. Let's just hope this doesn't happen and that we can continue our bullish sentiment for a while. And if we take our altcoins here, for example, we are gonna start off with Ethereum paired against USD, as we usually do. You know, there is no indication that any kind of massive crash is currently on the way. Obviously we just broke logarithmic resistance for Ethereum. We most definitely did a retest here, and you know, quite possibly we are going to need some consolidation, as I've said in my previous live streams, because this was a 132% move, which is massive considering Ethereum's market cap. 400 never gonna happen in my opinion. The, you know, preferable buy level, if you did not enter Ethereum yet, would be 570 USD in my opinion. That being said, I don't know if we are actually gonna go there anymore, considering, you know, Ethereum is really pushing against this resistance right here, and you know, it certainly looks like it's going to break any moment. Now if this breaks, what would our next target be? That's pretty simple. Our next target would be the 618, currently situated at 1000 USD rounded. So in short, in my point of view, Ethereum is going to 1000 USD within the next 1 or 2 months. You know, greatly depending on Bitcoin, of course. If Bitcoin is going to crash, then, you know, close but no cigar, but I think that's highly unlikely. So Ethereum is looking pretty good. Now let's just go to something I have been screaming off the roofs for the last 2 weeks, which is Nulls. Nulls is actually forming a cup and handle pattern here. And just as a demonstration, here we have the cup. And I know the right side is a little bit higher than the left side, but if you look at the bottom, you can see that this has been the case for the bottom as well. And I'm quite sure if I take a parallel channel and I draw it like this and I pull it up, you know, that would be pretty similar. See? So this is going to be the cup, and of course now we are just gonna have to form the handle. Let me make this nice. There we go. Now, in my rulebook, the handle is pretty easy to find. We take our trend-based Fibonacci extension, very important. We draw from the bottom to the top, back to the last bottom we had. There we go. You will find a number of levels here, and my handle would not go below 44,000 satoshis. If it goes below 44,000 satoshis, I am exiting this position, still at a profit, you know, but the profit wouldn't be as great as I had in mind. Now, just keep this cup and handle in mind. If we take our trend line, draw it like this, you know, quite possibly. Personally, actually, I would prefer if it was more like this. But we are just gonna have to see if that's actually going to happen. So we take our trend line, and you can see this has been a trend for a while. And I would prefer if the price just dropped into this trend line right here, like this, to continue its move up. Now, what would our target be if this cup and handle is going to complete? I'm going to quickly redraw the Fibonacci extensions. There we go. And as you can see, the first extension is currently located at 110,000 satoshis. For the sake of, you know, psychology, I'm going to move this to 100,000 satoshis, because 100,000 satoshis will be a big psychological resistance to overcome, and I would rather be safe than sorry. So once we reach these levels, and this is still almost an x2 from where we are currently situated, I will probably sell like 80% of my position and leave 20% in, because I do believe in the long term for Nulls, and it would be nice to have a free bag, you know, that's a decent size, and that's basically no risk. So that's my game plan for Nulls, and it's looking pretty well, you know. I'm excited. Next we're gonna take a quick look at Lux. And Lux is something I have been a fan of for a long time. You know, back when I bought, the price was somewhere around, let's say, 20,000 satoshis. We made this massive move all the way up to 50 USD, which was a 1600% increase, and I did not sell. Why am I not selling? Lux is a microcap coin. The devs are working really hard. Some great stuff is coming out, and so I believe in the long-term future so much that I am willing to basically risk my whole bag. You know, I'm willing to risk my whole entry for massive returns. Now, as you can see, currently we are creating a big wedge. This wedge has been forming ever since January. You know, January is where we had this massive spike, dropped all the way back down in March to 50,000 satoshis, you know, and this was a pretty significant drop, all the way from 350 to 50,000 satoshis. And in hindsight, one could say, oh, but you should have sold. Yes, I know, you know, but it's always impossible to tell what the exact bottom and the exact top are going to be. So I'm not risking anything here. I'm just keeping my back, waiting for this thing to explode, to get on a tier 1 exchange, and you know, basically to fly me to the moon. Just going to take my non-logarithmic scale to where it looks slightly different, and I will adjust support accordingly. You know, in the non-logarithmic scale it would look something like this. And my target, believe it or not, is 0.01 bitcoins right here at the second Fibonacci extension. That's where I will sell most of my bag, and this thing will make for a great profit. I still believe, you know, even though there has been some negativity, all this negativity is, you know, it's useless, it's ungrounded, it doesn't make sense. There's no reason for it to exist, even in my personal opinion. You know, so this bag of mine is just chilling in cold storage, and it's not getting out anytime soon. Next, OCN. I'm sure you've seen it. You know, this is why I do not buy hype coins. If there is a coin that's hyping on Twitter, everybody is buying it, that's when I will either be selling or ignoring it, because, you know, eventually this will happen, and if you bought the top, you would have made a 41% loss in about, I don't know, half a day. And you know, if you just look at this unbalanced volume, you will see that this was heavily manipulated. You know, there were so many coins sold off, it's unbelievable. So just a fair warning, do not buy hype coins, you know, because you will get wrecked beyond repair. You know, and in order to make up for a 50% loss, you're going to need a 200% increase in the future. So staying away from losses is actually far more important than making gains. And for example, I only made an X3. You know, let me just show you something, because everybody was shitting at me on Twitter. You know, in this whole move of Bitcoin, I only made it an X3 on altcoins. You know, for the concept portfolio that I have in my private group. However, since this drop, we are still sitting at X3. We haven't lost a single dollar in the portfolio. And now I'm laughing. You know, it's far more important to, you know, to protect your money than it is to make new money. If you're wondering what I've drawn here, I haven't really explained this. This is an ABCDE Elliott triangle wave. Meaning it's quite possible that we have to go to support here before any kind of significant moves can be made. Last but not least, you know, what are we going to look at here? We are going to look at Litecoin. Let's take a quick look at Litecoin. I'm a little bit uninspired today, but you will see why I chose Litecoin. I'm just going to put this into logarithmic scale. The reason being, I have a very clear resistance here. And then let's take Bitfinex. Actually, I'm sorry about that. I prefer Bitfinex. So resistance and support. Mark support green for clarity. There we go. This is going to be the easiest trade of the year, guys. Seriously, if you want to make any money, take this trade. If it breaks down, short it. If it breaks up, go long. I'm expecting a very significant move either way. You know, if this breaks down, a nice target would be this top right here. basically 93 USD. I'm 100% going to take this trade, and there will be a lot of profit involved. I hope I will take this one on margin because it's so easy and so clear. You know, if we break up, target should be the 618, currently located at 265 USD. So either way, there's going to be a big move, whether it's down or up, I don't care. All I know is that I'm gonna take this trade and quite possibly make some nice money there. So that's it for today. You know, as usual, please subscribe, like, comment, whatever. You know, if you want to see certain coins, make sure to put it in the comments so I can review those for you. I have a Discord group, it's also in the description, and you know, just make sure to join. It's free, it's fun, and quite possibly you could learn a thing or two. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in 2 days again. Have a great week.